This is Athens Unpacked. I'm Sofka Zinovieff, and in a series of podcasts, I'm continuing my long quest to understand this fascinating city. Athens Unpacked is made for This is Athens, the official visitor's guide to the city. Over 8 episodes, we'll explore subjects the guidebooks don't mention, like why are there so many modern apartment blocks?
I think that Athens encompasses the whole of the 20th century in an exciting way. From the 1900s to the 20s, 30s, 50s, 60s, 70s. I think it's a capital of the 20th century.
Or the street kiosk, periptero. Why is it a vital part of daily life, as well as being the place to read the newspaper headlines?
You know, it's kind of like a social media, but on the spot.
I'll talk with Athenians, both native and adopted, from a famous singer who worked with the greatest Greek composers to a kebab cook, from a British ambassador who gave up diplomacy for Greek poetry to a graffiti writer. There'll be aromas. I'll try to bottle Athens. And lots of tastes, from the wild greens of the Mediterranean diet to the falafel shop run by Syrians. And we'll look at why Athenians love their street markets.
I can see some really tempting seasonal produce. What would you point out?
Well, the wild asparagus. I mean, they go up on the mountains to pick them.
I'll dig below the surface and hopefully explain some of the city's mysteries.
If these walls could talk, they'd have a lot of stories to tell, that's for sure.
We'll unpack how tragedy and trauma have devastated Athens over and again. And yet Athenians not only survived, they've remained vivacious and fun-loving. I've been connected to Greece since I was an innocent Cambridge anthropology student doing research in the late 80s. Then I met my Greek husband in Moscow. We lived in various countries before settling in Athens 20 years ago with our 2 young daughters. I've written about the place as a journalist and in several books, and these days I see my relationship with Athens a bit like a marriage, based on dedicated love with occasional squabbles. I've loved making Athens Unpacked. It's reminded me of why I chose this complex, seductive place as my home. Join me in episode 1 to get a sense of how Athens sits within its landscape. We'll go high up a hill not many people visit. Then we'll go down underground to see a skeleton. And we'll visit a hidden aqueduct that's still functioning after almost 2,000 years. George has brought his ladder and he's taken us to the back of this amazing echoing room, and we're going to climb up and go into something very exciting. Athens Unpacked is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any of your favourite podcast apps. This is Athens is online at thisisathens.org.
Pod.gr. Sounds good.